5 tweets landed Li Lin in shackles. A software engineer, Li had traveled to Xinjiang province in 2018 to visit family for the Lunar New Year. He tweeted about his surprise over the intense security in the northwestern region, where a state campaign of mass incarceration and re-education of Uyghurs and other ethnic minorities was underway. All Xinjiang residents had been forced to register their fingerprints, blood samples and eye scans with public security. Most VPN phone apps were unusable. Crescent moons and labels for Muslim halal products had been covered up. Police stations had been set up at every corner. Communist Party officials had been dispatched to spy inside minorities' homes. If these policies continue, ethnic tensions will only get worse, Li wrote. Such high-pressure terror and inconvenience of life makes people crazy. Any bit of complaint or dissatisfaction gets you locked into education classes. Even so, there are still some people who don't think this policy has any problem at all. A few days later, plainclothes police showed up at Li's family's home. They detained him for 6 months on charges of disrupting public order and inciting ethnic discrimination and separatism. They later charged him with inciting subversion of state sovereignty. In December 2018, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Li's case demonstrates how the Chinese government silences discussion about its harsh policies in Xinjiang, even as it claims that all its citizens support them. Last week, the European Union, UK, US and Canada issued sanctions on Chinese officials for their arbitrary detention and abuse of ethnic minorities in Xinjiang. Beijing retaliated with counter-sanctions on Western officials, lawyers, activists and scholars. At the same time, state media and the Communist Party started an online campaign calling for boycotts of Western clothing companies including H&M, Nike, Burberry and others that had expressed concern over forced labor in Xinjiang. Dozens of Chinese celebrities cut ties with the foreign companies. Chinese social media were flooded with posts about supporting Xinjiang cotton. Chinese officials drew on such posts as proof of a wave of united Chinese public opinion, and a powerful consumer market, that saw no human rights violations in Xinjiang and would punish governments, companies or individuals who disagreed. These enterprises get to decide what they should do. The Chinese people also get to express their thoughts freely, said Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokeswoman Hua Chunying at a press briefing last week. The Chinese people wouldn't allow foreigners to reap benefits in China on the one hand and smear China on the other. That image of unified outrage is an illusion. Nationalism is growing stronger under President Xi Jinping. Many Chinese citizens cheer as wolf warrior, diplomats push back against international criticism.